and in matches. I think people see her as the weaker of the five, um, which I think is honestly kind of fair. I feel her numbers definitely needed a lot of reworks, and she got them. But still, I think a lot of characters in her in the flex DPS role outclass her. Mainly like I think Tracer, Genji, Echo, Venture are all just infinitely better and do a lot more. I think she does have some niche filament in the comp that has other characters that can light people on fire, like the Maga or the Ashe, which I have been seeing a lot more Maga being played. So maybe in that situation we will see some more Onron. And then for Mizuki and Cat, I did hear that they were thinking about doing some changes to Cat, so I'm not too sure if the changes will completely negate the value that Cat had coming in to the patch. But Mizuki, I think, is very underrated. People aren't really giving Mizuki enough credit for what he can do. He's a bit more niche and also Kat and Mizuki are, I think, at least in my opinion, are both main supports, which was kind of weird to see them both get released as heroes in the same category. But if you could play Mizuki right, I think he fits into some really good poke or anti-dive comps with his tether and his overall good damage output. It just depends, really. Honestly, it all just comes down to what your team's playstyle is and how comfortable you feel playing these new characters or just playing what has already been played and what is tried and true. Because it still works. You know, a lot of stuff we've seen last season and last patch are still valuable now and are somehow also even a little bit better than they were before.
Yeah,
Thank
and I
you,
mean
Overwatch.
it's thank you, Overwatch. And I mean it's funny as well because you kind of mentioned something that kind of leads into another discussion topic that we can have just while we wait for everyone to set up. Like the new, you had mentioned main support and um
The passives, the new passives, I'm assuming.
well, passives and stuff like that, but um kind of different in a sense. Um DPS roles have seen a bit of a change. You
Ah,
used to see
yeah.
them all listed as hit scan or flex, and now we have these listings of specialist and flanker and like
Well, I still
these
see that the
different type of
primary
things.
categorization is the way to look at it still. But I think with the new sub roles that have been added, it definitely provides a little more utility options and what can and can be played together. Like, uh, I like each and every one of them. I think
Mhm.
respectively they have a lot of strengths to their new passives. But the one I look at the most as, especially for the heroes in the category, as being possibly the most broken is I think Recon. I absolutely see Recon being one of the more problematic ones for those who don't know what Recon does. It allows the characters in the sub role to detect enemies at half HP or lower through walls, but only for them. I think you are allowed to
Mhm.
ping them for your team, but it's been given to Echo, Freya, Sombra, and Pharah, which, I mean, Sombra already had that passive, but they replaced it, gave her a new one, which allows you to see
Right.
enemy ult charge, or like just when they have ults earlier, and it's actually just been so much better, honestly. I really like how they changed Sombra around. I think she
Mhm.
sees a lot more potential now in play. So I'm personally excited to see that. I like seeing Sombra in the meta. But
Yeah, and I'm
you know,
almost curious now if the sub roles being out, if teams are gonna start looking for bench players on specific sub roles instead of necessarily the hit scan DPS type thing. Where maybe you
I
look at
still
a team and say
think
you want a flanker as your backup type option or a specialist.
I still think that people will continue to look in the more broader section of categorization when it comes to finding players for the roles. You know, like there was like the main tanks and off tanks, hit scan DPS, flex DPS, main support, flex supports. I still think that's
Mhm.
going to stay the same, but I think people will try to emphasize more that they want character or people to play these certain characters for certain comps because
Hit scans kind of
there's
within
different
the sub
synergization
roles.
now. Yeah, there's a lot more potential for more synergies. I think we will be seeing possibly a return of some Somber Tracer, maybe even some Somber Reaper from the good old days. I think Vendetta is still too strong for that to happen right now at the moment, but we could potentially see some reworks of her. God, I really hope so. Please nerf Vendetta.
Yeah. Yeah, fair
Uh,
enough. We do have first ban at least for the meantime, as we're still
First band, you
waiting for
say?
the rest of the team to come into the lobby. But we do have first ban from Aubrey. They will be banning the Diva.
I see. You know, I Diva ban on Ilios, I believe. is a pretty common ban. I think it's a good ban as well. It depends on what the angle Aubrey's looking for here, because D.Va is really strong into most of the lineup, but particular, I like to think of tanks that D.Va is like really, really strong into. I think of Winston. I think of Ball.
Hmm.
Um, I think a little bit, depending on the play style, like if you're aiming for more of like uh I guess like a defensive hold. Maybe you're aiming for a more pokey angle with like playing like Rom or Sig. I think she has okay matchup. Not into the Sig. I think Sig bullies D.Va at the very
Hmm.
moment and has been bullying D.Va for quite a while. Um, I think it just depends the angle that Aubrey are looking for to play. I know Raptor has really enjoyed playing a lot of Ramattra. I think we saw some Winston from him when we
Yeah,
were
we
here.
do see a fair amount of Winston as well. So
Um, I think especially with the Maga resurgence that I've been seeing, I think Maga has a lot of potential to be played here, and I think D.Va does do uh, a lot to Maga and also to Maga's team with Defense Matrix being able to consume the heals that Maga needs, or even just
hmm.
denying Burn Tick, which if you know a lot or a decent amount about Maga, one of his perks gives him a 50 overhealth on every ignite, which is if you can deny him getting that overhealth because it resets once it gets burned, does cut Maga's survivability pretty harsh if he takes the perk. So, I mean, maybe we'll see Maga here. Probably Ram, more than likely.
Potentially,
Some
I would.
Winston.
Yeah, I think that would probably be the more likely is the Ram or the Winston. Also, I mean,
I think when
we
we were
do
here last time,
see.
we saw Raptor play Zarya on this map, I believe.
I think a little bit. I remember a little
In
bit
the
of
Zar, it was in the
Ilios
Zardetta,
with a
so
Winston, but I was also going to mention the Vendetta. If you ban something like the D.Va, you can have it where your Vendetta does not necessarily have to focus on kind of getting in the face of that D.Va when the defense matrix is active. It kind of lets that Vendetta focus on what it is that they want to do primarily in the composition that you might have, instead of having to put them on a role like dealing with a D.Va. Um, so I do understand the D.Va ban. It kind of makes sense with the type of comps that we see Aubrey typically run.
I think D.Va also just has a lot of control over the vertical positions on this map. On
That too.
top of that, she just has really good damage output, and she's able to solo most backlines and a lot of the DPS as well. So D.Va just overall is a safe ban, even if you don't have a particular reason for it. It's just better to not have to deal with a really good D.Va than, you know, deal with it. As we see, I believe
Fair.
a venture ban coming out here for
Mm-hmm.
uh Hebron JV.
For
I
Hebron
venture
JV,
ban on
yeah.
this map. I'm not particularly the biggest fan of it. I think Vendetta is a bigger struggle point here for a lot of teams. I think you also could maybe be looking at banning like I personally when I was playing way back with my good old team, Big Duck Energy, we like to ban Kiri on a lot of these control maps just because it was just a pretty simple ban. We wouldn't really play Kiri on it ourselves. I know a lot of people like to play Kiri because I mean, she is still just the strongest flex support in history. So yeah, can't really go wrong with banning that character either.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the Vendetta is arguably the better option out of Venture or Vendetta, but I can also kind of see where they might want to ban that Venture in certain aspects. So I can
Yeah,
definitely see with the
I think
well as
maybe
well
saving
being a
the venture
factor.
ban for a map later down the line, like if they go to a map with a really difficult like struggle point that you need to take. Like one in particular I like to point out because I would play Venture on this map and I would play Venture from this play. Hotel on Kings Row first point defense. Really powerful position to hold as Venture. Really hard position to take away from Venture. If you have that sort of character freed up there and you're able to play it well, it's such heavy control and flank potential from a character who does incredible work in the backline and has really good pressure. So just, I think saving that ban for later down the line, especially 'cause I think we have seen Aubrey pick the Venture on a map like that. So
Hmm.
not having the ban for that could potentially be uh, devastating if they run into the trouble of that. So, I mean, I think overall, bans are fine. Just, God, they need to nerf Vendetta, please.
Bans are standard, but I
Bans are
do
standard.
agree.
Bans are pretty standard. As we go to Lighthouse, first here. You know, as I said, this is my favorite point on Elias. Big Lighthouse enjoyer.
Yeah,
Uh,
Lighthouse is honestly pretty good.
I think Lighthouse is the most well-rounded point. I think it provides good high grounds, good neutral, low ground points. The objective itself is actually pretty like not annoying to play through. One say I will think it's pretty open. So maybe if you struggle with dealing with really heavy poke angles, you might not like this point so much. But that's what the glory of playing from high ground or playing even from cages early. Once you get point control, you don't have to necessarily play point. You could play outside of point. But taking fights in
So
point could be a
early
struggle.
on- Oh, and we've already got a pause.
This gives us more time to talk.
Yeah,
Yay!
it does. Someone's mouse died. Oh my. You can't make this
I'm a
stuff up.
big pusher of charge your mouse before you have something you have to do. My
Yeah.
mouse has a pretty long battery life, so I leave it going for a while. It usually takes about like a week for it to like fully go to like low. So
Same,
then I put it
yeah.
on the charger before I go to bed after using it, and then I wake up and it's fully charged, and I have like another week of my mouse not having to worry about it.
Exactly, yeah. But okay, for the time being, let's look at comps, right? So we're seeing a Cass, Ram, Vendetta, Ana Lucio. The Ana Lucio.
Ana Lucio is a very this is a very greedy comp right here.
Yeah.
This is very in your face, full frontal. We're looking to kill you before you have a chance to even do anything, and it's
Going
really
against
strong into this
Mint on
Winston.
this Tracer with a Winston, then Moira Lucio.
Again, I think with this comp as well, we saw this last time where they like to play this fast-paced Moira comp where they don't want to give much time for the enemy to set up and just take the fights quickly so they don't burn all the resources. If they can play it right around this Ana and timing the nade engages, I think they have a really good advantage here. Polar does go down first, though, traded out immediately.
Is going to get taken out by the Tracer as well. Raptor here looking for their next jump target. Does spot the Lucio, is fairly low, is going to try and jump onto them and take them out. So no supports now for the side of Hebron Varsity. In the meantime, however, Mint was able to grab a health pack, is going to look to try and help out on this point here. Looking at the Ramatra first, the Vendetta is going to get taken out now. Just the Ramatra on the point, they will get taken out as well. And you're going to see an immediate swap into that Kiriko after one fight as Aubrey will start point progress.
I think the Curie swap here is just the better play. If they were maybe playing Winston or like a Divey style team, I think the Ana is a much better choice. You're able to play more back and set up for nade angles, but the Ana was trying to walk with the team and play like they're playing like this Moira that the Aubrey has. But I mean, Raptor overstaying his welcome on high ground there and getting punished for it.
Raptor gets melted. Mint is the only one left on this low ground, but will get taken out by I Am a Frog on the Lucio.
I mean, it's just right on the
force
nose
Aubrey
there.
to kite out.
I mean, I guess you don't really go for subtlety points when you're naming yourself and you play a character.
Especially if it's the Lucio, the frog character. But Solar trying to jump in is going to get booped away from the Lucio, but Raptor will find the opportunity to jump in. They'll take the high ground for the time being. The Vendetta still trying to fight off Raptor, but will get taken out after that. Raptor jumping in onto the point, looking at the Lucio, is going to let the Lucio live a little bit longer as they're now going to focus on the point primarily. Tex is fairly low, trying to stay alive, is going to get a right-click killed from the Lucio. Mint's going to take down the Cass. Raptor's going to get taken down by one of the Curies, and the Ramatra's on the punches form is going to take down Solar. But Mint will find another pick. It's still not over just yet. Mint trying to stay nearby, does have this pulse in hand if they feel they need to use it. They're going to regroup with Dorcas and look to maybe go into this next fight. Tex is going to switch over to the Kiriko now instead of the Moira, maybe for a little bit more survivability, and Raptor's pretty close to their Rampage.
I mean, you look at this ult bank now, the economy does definitely favor Hebron more as beat does come out from I'm a Frog, beat matching from Dorcas.
That's
potentially
a
big
kill
rival here.
for
Oh,
Raptor!
wow. 3, actually. Make it 4. Winston 5k? Give it to him. They're giving it to him.
Oh,
Solar, you greedy.
Oh.
Ooh. You know what?
Raptor with a 3k environmental gets a 4th with one of the blows from the Winston ult. And now they only have Mint's ult in hand, but Mint has been doing pretty good with getting the sticks now, so I'm interested to see if they find an early stick onto anyone in particular. As High Noon is going to get popped, but it's going to get taken down by Tex. Kiriko's not going to be able to find a pick, but Raptor will follow up on it. chop on this Kiriko very low. Raptor will find the punch to take them out. So 82 to 56 for Aubrey, as points going to continue going their way.
We will be seeing Nearing Vendetta ults, a Ramatra ult online for Hebron as well as a Rush. Tech's coming up close to his, but probably won't be able to get in time for this fight unless they start pumping heals into Raptor. Rush coming up from the high ground now. I mean, you look at this fight, yeah, there's the Vendetta ults. I was expecting them to come out at the same time. Solar does find one.
Solar finds a pick. You're going to see the Rampage get popped. It is going to take down one. It'll take down Dorcas as well. But now it is off. Solar is going to take down Chop. Solar trying to swing onto this Ramatra is staying on the point to make sure that it can't flip over just yet. You did see Suzu get thrown, but it did not work. Tex is trying to contest on this point as long as they can. Don't get taken out, but Raptor's back in. Dorcas is nearby. Mint's nearby as well. The point 92 to 96, currently in favor of Hebron Varsity. Mint will get taken down. Raptor's in a bit of a tough position. Raptor will be able to force a touch at a minimum, but they need their team to get back with them. The Lucio will fall. Solar's on the point. You have the Kitsune Rush from Tex getting popped as well. Dorcas is going to get a boop kill onto the cast. It's now a 3v3. Tex will find a pick onto the other Kiriko. Dorcas will find a pick onto the Venture. The only person left is the Ram. The Ram will get taken down by Dorcas. Dorcas, Mint, and Tex, the only ones left on the point. The Lucio trying to use a rollout to at least be able to force a touch. They will be able to force an overtime touch, but will the rest of their team be able to follow? The Kiriko will not be able to TP, and Aubrey is going to take this first point of Ilios.
Very, very close first point there. And I think the primary thing it came down to was just ult dumping in that final fight. You know, we saw the Ramatra get popped from Frosty, and it was able to pick up two. But, you know, the great debate of Overwatch is, do you stay and burn the ult, or do you run away and let it die out? Truly one of the hardest philosophical questions in Overwatch history. And you think about it, you gotta weigh the pros and cons, obviously. Do you stay in and burn the Ramatra, you potentially die to him, or you take care of the Ramatra, no Ramatra ult, and they lose their tank? Truly difficult question. And I think the way that Aubrey played around it was fine, where they tried to do, you know, as much damage as they could. Fortunately, didn't get any kill out of it. They lost two. But the stall time that they had. Now, Tex dying late actually was a blessing, as they were too focused on Tex to realize that there was a Dorcas inbound with a Raptor behind him. Truly a terrifying combo, as we see a Zar comp now with a Freya in the mix for Aubrey. And
Mint
Bastion.
has been liking this Freya recently. Bastion,
I think Freya. I mean, Freya is still good.
Hebron.
It's hard to kill Freya off until you like just truly nerf her damage numbers into the ground.
I am curious to see how the Zar is going to work in this composition, if they're going to be the main target from the side of Hebron, if they're really going to be forcing to try and melt these bubbles. But Raptor already at 80% charge, looking to get some early damage in, focusing on the Bastion. They will take down the Bastion, now focused on the Kiriko, who is going to be forced to TP out. Dorcas will find a pick onto the Kiriko, though, in the end. Raptor now face-to-face with the tank, looking for the cast in the background. Mint will be able to take them down. Raptor now will focus their attention onto the tank. 70 HP in a dream. They'll get the healing they need as Mint will find the final blow. And Mint is already 3%, 2% away, 1% away from their ultimate. They will have the Bola shot for this next fight as they just get that final tick now.
I mean, as I said, Freya just always finds herself as a decent candidate for being input into a lot of these comps. She just has really good damage, and her ult charge rate is absolutely insane, as Mint does find one onto Chop with the Bola shot. Getting the cleanup now in the fight. No one will die for the side of Aubrey, fortunately for them. Kicking now over to the 40% mark. Caustic, I mean, typically speaking, when you look at this matchup, you think the Ram has the advantage into the Zarya. Because in 9 times out of 10, the Ram does beat the Zarya in the fight. However,
you would think
respect the Vendetta.
Yeah,
the Vendetta is the primary target first
thing.
and foremost. Especially with having a cast and a Bastion, this Vendetta should not be living most of their engages. You blow up the bubble, and then you burn her through the block.
Again.
But, I mean, I'll let Mint just find Chop in the process. But there goes Solar now, a little
There goes Solar. They did deal with the Vendetta. They took down Dorcas as well. I'm honestly surprised a little bit because of how much value Raptor has been getting. Like, they almost always seem to be at least by half charge at, like, the minimum. So it seems like even though they have this Bastion who you might expect to just kind of blow up the turrets, blow up the bubbles, it feels like even in doing that, they're kind of empowering Raptor a little bit too much, because Raptor has been getting insane value. Already has the grab. They're going to use it. Going to get taken down, but they'll force down a beat from the side of Hebron. Bola shot will get used. It won't find a pick. Solar will find a pick onto the Cass, however, and the Bastion. The Kitsune rush will get popped as well. That's both support ults from Hebron. Solar slicing, trying their best. They are going to get taken down. Mint the last one to touch this point, and despite the fact that it is overtime and will flip over to Hebron, you got it to 99% if you're the side of Aubrey, and you've got 3 ults for this next fight coming up.
More importantly, no support ults and a very large Sundering Blade on the way, possibly from Solar here. And I mean, you have your own support ults to boot. You deal with the National and the Noon with support ults. The Ramatra, theoretically, you just blow them up with the Vendetta ult, and this should be game over and a win for Aubrey. Here comes the engage, looking for probably the DPS. Oh, this is an angle.
Solar popping the ult, looking for someone. Will take down the Lucio with it, however. High Noon gets popped, does not find a pick. Solar dealing with this cast will take them down. The only person left alive is the Ramatra, who's not on the point currently. Solar will slice and dice in front of their face. They will take them down. Overtime will tick, but no one will be able to touch, so Aubrey will take a 1-0 lead so far after this first map on Ilios.
I think I look back on this particular point, and you really start to see the main issue being they weren't too sure the target priority after burning the Vendetta. Because once Vendetta's out of the fight, you know, you burn the bubble that she gets, and then you burn her block so she can't stay in without, you know, dying.
still keep that idea going with that venture. But I'm curious to see how it goes for them on this attack to start off.
I don't expect to see much difference in the playstyle, even with the Zarya gone. If we find Solar back on this Vendetta, I think they still just go for this very aggressive, take space, hold the space, and immediately go again playstyle. But actually, we will see Solar on the Venture to start, and holy moly.
The cat.
The cat that I hate.
There is a frog, and now there is a cat.
That stupid cat.
Yeah.
Ugh.
The cat boosting both Raptor and Solar up to this high ground.
I mean, sure, yeah, why not?
Tex will go up there as well. Dorcas will climb up there as well.
I mean, yeah, I guess,
Mint
yeah.
on this Freya could also jump up and join their team if they wish to.
I think we're going to see Mint on the low ground walking down.
More than likely.
Pretty similar comp, except there's a Soj now, which I think Soj is better on the defensive end here than Freya. But pretty much the same comp, same idea. They're both looking to play the same angles and the same level of aggression, but just different sides, obviously.
Mint early on here looking to try and get an opening pick. They're not going to be able to just yet, but it will force Solar with the help of the Ram to be able to take out some targets here, including the Kiriko, and already there's 4 down for the side of Hebron, and that's a full team wipe. Barely even had my time to collect myself as they started the fight, and already this is going to basically be Aubrey getting this first objective and getting the push cart ready and going, as Chop is now going to switch over to the Ana.
Very fast Chop here, and I don't know how I feel about this Ana swap. I think Ana is too vulnerable of a target for Freya and Venture. And also, we have seen that Dorcas is not afraid to just run it into the back line and find somebody. So that's 3 potential people looking for this Ana here. And without Kiri now, no TP, no Suzu, and a Suzu for the side of Aubrey, I mean, it's just unfortunate. As Solar does find Chop.
Solar's the first to get taken down. Or first to get taken down, but will also take down the Ana in that as well.
Your life for the Ana's life, the primary heals,
it's a pretty good trade.
Worth it.
Yeah. Especially considering the fact that you're on attack, and you're going to get to this point a lot faster as Raptors in this punches form looking for their first target. Mint will find the pick onto the tank. Raptor will find the punch onto the Venture. That's just going to force a retreat.
There is no Vendetta to confuse here.
Yeah, well, I keep mixing
Vendetta.
them up and saying Vendetta or Venture for the opposite one just because Ven and Vet and Detta. I'm gonna have to get into the habit of saying that, but Raptor's already close to this rampage. 95% and counting. Mint has the bola shot as always, but I think Mint's gonna save it up until this fight, finding them grouped up to hopefully use it to kind of get an advantage, get an early pick to help out. As Raptor's gonna pop the ult, they're gonna get slept, but almost a C9. The Lucio will be able to touch, but 2 will get taken down. A 3rd will get taken down. That's a foul. That's a 5. That's a full team wipe. And there's still 5 minutes and 30 seconds left for this last objective cap on this payload.
Very aggressive ult there from Raptor, but ultimately it does pay off because you get away with winning second point only using 1 ult, and now you still have your team's entire ult bank to deal with their team's entire ult bank, which is also coming up around the same time as Tex does pop this Kitsune rush down main pretty early. Leaf trying to look for, there's the bola shot, does find itself onto 3, but the beat coming out to save Chop won't matter though. Dorcas goes off the map.
Dorcas, okay then. Really good bola shot there from Mint, however. Really good.
You need to get an integrity check on Dorcas.
I feel like I kind of know what happened. I feel like Dorcas was going to do a rollout and just kind of missed. It's a good thing they didn't have ult at the time, because I can imagine Dorcas popping ult and accidentally falling and just panicking, being like, oh no, help.
I can actually confidently say I have seen someone fall off the map in that part using beat. Was not enjoyable to watch. It's probably not fun to be the Lucio in that position.
Not enjoyable to watch. Raptor is going to get antied here. Looking for the Suzu from Tex. They will get the Suzu. The beat will get popped from Dorcas to counteract the nanoed Ram. Chop will get taken down from Solar. Solar will get taken down from Ruby Snatch. Interesting name. Mint has the bola shot, is going to use it primarily on the Soj. Is not going to be able to get the stick, however. Mint will find the final blow onto Frosty. Looking for that Soj, will not be able to. Solar coming back from spawn. Raptor 83% to their ult, so Solar will join them in this fight momentarily. Solar, the Raptor in the punches form, looking for that cure, looking for that Ven. Is not going to be able to get it. You're going to get a sleep onto them. The opponents are going to go over to the side of the Barissa now. Try and get that to help out. Raptor does have this ult. They are going to pop it. The form is going to get popped. Looking at the Lucio to start off is going to do their best and be able to stay alive despite the entirety of the team of Hebron trying to push them off of the map in the midst of that ult. And that'll be a 3-0.
Did they like secretly buff Stalwart or something slightly after the rework change? I feel like Raptor should have 100% been off the map there at the end.
I feel like they should have as well. I think it might have been the blocking.
I don't think block changes the boop.
Does it?
I don't think it does it. It changes your damage reduction. I don't think it changes your how much you get booped. I think that was just Stalwart.
I wonder if damage is. I wonder if your velocity of like a boop is relative to the damage that it deals as well. If it's something like the Orisa one.
Not sure. I mean,
that's
very well could be the case.
Thing, but holy.
I mean, yeah, very good push there from Aubrey. I would be very proud of that. This is a comp. Hold on. Yes. Our first look at Domina in this from Aubrey here, as we will see Raptor on it. Text on this Moira. We did see Moira Wuyang back on Kingsray last time we were here. Solar on the Mei and Mint once again on the Freya. As we see Hebron Varsity looking for this Sig, a very aggressive Sig rush angle again with this Ana. I mean, you know, I'm still not too sure how strong. I think it will be more beneficial for Chop here, as there's not a whole lot of major threats going on them, but still I think Ana is too little heals for the income you're like for the potential that you have, unless you're landing like 4-man 3-man nades every fight and hitting a sleep on a target that needs to be hit. I just think the Kiri here or even a Baptiste would be much more beneficial, especially into Raptor now being on the Domina.
I think it's preemptive selection with the idea in mind that there would be a Venture on defense that they might have to worry about. But I think your point's gonna stand pretty tall, as Mint's gonna find an opening blow onto Chop. Raptor will find 2 right off of the bat, looking for the 3rd. It's just gonna be a full reset. The Venture, the only one left alive. It's a full reset for the side of Hebron. Good opening hold. Mint's gonna keep themselves in this aggressive angle, looking for an opening pick. Dorcas will find a pick onto the Frog. And now they're kind of in a bit of a tough situation. Mint's 62% to their ult and counting. And it's constantly going up with how Mint has been making so much damage and so many accurate shots.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard. Again, like I said, Freya will forever remain a very strong character until they completely reduce her damage numbers, as Booty Snatch gets found by the skill orb from Tex. Already up to Ebola. And I mean, it's hard to deal with this Freya. You need something like a Cass or a Freya of your own to like really match her. Even an Ashe would be good here, as Mint does hit the Bola and finds 2 with it in the radius. It's just a struggle. You can't really get your Ana to a position that you need her to play in to get her value, which would be the high ground where Mint has been holding primarily. And they've been trying to get them around to it, but I mean, it's too little too late with the rotate, and especially with Solar being on this Mei, it's really difficult to get past these walls without taking extra time to burn them, or even punishing Solar for playing far up.
Raptor very low, but will stay alive. Mint will find a pick onto the Soj. Raptor having to deal with this Venture, 100 HP, but will get a lot of healing and a lot of support during this. Has their ult in hand if they need to use it, but it's just Frosty and Chop. Presumably they're looking for a nano here, but they're not going to be able to get it. And now it's 4 ults for the side of Aubrey, as opposed to Hebron's 2, building up on this Lucio beat and this Venture ult. But in the time they'll build up on that, Mint will have the Bola.
Yep, I was going to say Mint's just back to another Bola. The 5v3 ult economy, almost 5v4. I mean, it's just rough. They can't dislodge Mint. There's too much pressure now. Blizzard comes out. It's going to find Chop, and it's going to find Sushi Kushi in the back. I mean, very good Blizzard there from Solar, catching 3 in it, and it's just the Soj left alive, chilling in theater right now, waiting for the team to regroup. You need to dump ult here, and you need to make some kind of a switch. And honestly, I think D.Va is a good choice here if Frosty has a D.Va in the back pocket, or possibly even mirroring the Domina might also show some effectiveness into Mint on the Freya just because of the range that you have. But I think right now where they're at, there's just not a whole lot getting done. Beat from Frog does come out here to
popped.
get the
Solar
push
trying
through.
their best to get into the small room. They're going to be dealing primarily with this Soj. Is going to actually be able to use the wall to keep them alive a little bit longer, but will get taken down in the end. You have the Nano Ram that is trying their best to cause as much chaos as possible, but Mint will take down the Soj, looking to take down this Venture as well. Will take down the Venture. The only person left on the point is Frosty, along with their Lucio. But you have the Lucio and you have the Moira here. Might have been able to touch, but it's not necessarily worth it. So they are going to give the point over to Hebron's varsity team.
And you come away with
just
point,
forced
but
to do the payload.
Caustic, you have to look at the cost. Funny that it actually took for you to get into first play and how much time it took as well. Almost your entire time bank, actually your entire time bank to get first point, and it cost you your support ult and Ramatra ult into this comp. I still believe that there is change that needs to be made, unless they can find a way to effectively win these fights quickly, like getting an opening pick onto Tex there. Just Dorcas left now for heals, but unfortunately a very oppressive choke point to push through. Could go either way still, even while being up 1.
Tex is going to switch over to the Kiriko, and I kind of like the Kiriko as opposed to the Moira. I feel like it'll work a little bit better with this kind of style that they're wanting to run. As Solar will find a pick onto the Lucio, Raptor will find a pick on a Chop, and they're going to use that opportunity to walk and take down the opponents that they can see. The Venture will be forced to burrow and get back and reset with their team, and even if they try and bunch up for an ult kind of dump fight here from the side of Hebron, Mint still has this bola shot, and that's going to be a lot of burst damage right off of the bat. So I'm curious to see with the Nano coming up if Hebron decides to try and Nano someone else, or if they're going to wait for this
Very big wall there.
The Ram, but that's a huge wall from Solar. They'll be able to break a section off. But...
You know, you wall a Ramatra, so it's really unfortunate when you don't find the pick there. Truly a tragic moment.
Mint helping deal with this backline Venture and Lucio, and will find the pick. You're going to see the Nano Ryan get popped. You'll see the freeze from Solar get popped as well. It'll be able to get a bit of value. It won't get a Elam off of it first. However, though, Frost will pop the Ramatra ult, but Mint will be able to stay alive. Solar will get taken down. Raptors coming back from spawn. Tex, Dorcas, and Mint are the only ones left up front here. But Mint has his bola shot. Tex has the Suzu if needed. And Dorcas will have this Wuyang ult that they can potentially use with Raptor when Raptor returns. Speaking of Raptor, Raptor returns and makes an impact right away. Pops the ult, finds a pick onto the Soj. I think the ult got walled off.
So yeah, you can in fact not pass ult through shields. It does get blocked. Any sort of barrier
10%.
or wall. Yep.
Dorcas is going to pop the Tidal Blast. The Tidal Blast will boop some away. The Lucio will be able to force a touch, however. Or will they? They will be able to, just barely with the help of the Ramatra as well. You're going to see the Overclock get popped as well. Now the fight is primarily on this payload, but Solar will find some picks along with Dorcas and Mint. The only person left is the Rams. They'll get taken out as well. And Aubrey will take an early 2-0 lead on this series.
Very good defensive showing from Aubrey. And I think a lot of that credit is actually due to, you know, I think the walls from Solar actually did a lot there, at least into this Ramatra that Hebron was trying to force. It does disrupt the comp a lot with trying to play very aggressively and fast and get through the point immediately. You get walled off and you're like, well, some of us are split, some of us aren't. We need to either break wall.
Did also
Solar
trade on
might be
control.
the one trade wonder, truthfully. I mean, it works. Get your value twin. You got that.
Yeah.
I
mean,
play
that
the
is fair,
exact
yeah.
same way on those heroes. That is not a jab, I promise. That is just how it works.
The true definition of got my one.
Exactly, yes. Those are the I got my one heroes. Vendetta more so the I got my five, as in I will kill your whole team. But speaking of which, Vendetta. Ooh, Vendetta.
Ooh.
On attack here, as we do see the same comp here, minus the Freya. Freya's being banned, of course, and then on to the Soj now, and Solar on the Vendetta. Kind of what I expected, honestly. Them just kind of running the same thing. They looked like they wanted to be playing Domina, and I think this map is very good for her. So, you know, I've gotten a little bit of time to try Domina on this map, and I think she is really strong. If you maybe don't feel as comfortable on a character like Sig, or if Ram isn't an option, or even if you don't feel very comfortable playing something like a dive comp. Shield gives a lot of value. Her E is really good at closing off those high ground angles or even like flanks. And her range is good enough to mirror or rival Sigs, if not maybe just be a little bit better. As we actually, I'm noticing a comp switch here. We see I am a Frog on DPS and Yakitori now on support, which has not been normally the case. I wonder if this is maybe a map situational type thing where they're like, ah, yeah, we've been practicing with this specific lineup, so we're gonna run this here.
Potentially, I mean, I can understand maybe you want that more flex DPS option of Solar. Very close to death there, got rocked by the Sig, but did get the healing they needed to right after. As Mint, very low, is in this backline with Dorcas, will get taken out, however. Solar very low, Tex will fall. Solar looking for their next target. They're kind of in a bit of a tough position right now, trying their best to stay alive, but they're going to get chased out very fast. And Raptor, kind of the only one left on the point, will be able to get some healing, but still fairly low. So early on, Hebron's defense has been going relatively well, and Aubrey has been having a little bit of a struggle, but they will kind of change that a little bit here. The Sig's going to get taken down, and they're looking to push early here. They're going to force the rest of the Hebron squad to try and kite this as best as they can. And Mint already pretty close to their ult. Raptors very close to theirs. Tex is close to this Kitsune rush. And I mean, we're going to be coming up on what could be a fight, an ult dump fight for some of these teams if they get the ults early enough.
I mean, Raptor will definitely be getting his ult, and same with Tex, just because Domina's ult charge rate needs to be addressed, honestly. She builds ult way too fast. But I think a lot of that strength that she gets does lie in the fact that she'll have an ult in a fight, if not in the ensuing fight during it. Solar does pick up 2 there. And I think another really important thing people don't really get about Domina right now is how powerful her E is and the value you get out of shutting it down as much as you can. So when you do damage in E, you get shields back in accordance with how much damage you do. So theoretically speaking, if Raptor were to hit, I don't know, like 3 people with an E and blow it up at the right time, you can go from no shields to full shields in an instant, which is insane for a character like Domina, whose most of her health is shields.
This is going to take down the Juno, and honestly, despite the fact that they only get 1 Elim, I think they get insane value as they find a pick with the E ability of the Soj right after. I think they get insane value just by popping that OC, forcing a lot of the team into these corners and these walled off angles where they feel safe, to then have Vendetta just come in and slice and dice them right afterwards.
Yeah, I mean,
So
you are forced to respect OC, especially at 150 OC, because if you just get headshot once as a squishy, you're dead, and as a tank, you lose most of your HP. So it's a good ult just to pop and guarantee that you get value, because people are going to be forced to back up, or they'll 5-man rush you down. I have seen people do that before. Can't say it works,
see an ult dump this fight. You saw the Nano Blade from the side of Hebron, as well as Dorcas popping their ult, but they will be able to get a team kill off of it, only losing out on Mint. And now they're coming into this last kind of push point of Shambali, with 2 ults in hand versus 3 from the side of Hebron.
And here's the thing about this ensuing fight, is if Solar just finds 2 with Sundering Blade here, I think that's enough to just win them Shambali. Or at the very least get them through this final attack, because there's not a whole lot to stop it, unless you hit the rock, but Solar does find Shop immediately and gets out to live.
Maybe
not
they
only do you
don't
get
need
your
the
one,
ults.
I mean, maybe they don't, but I still believe that Solar is probably going to be holding up here with Raptor and possibly even Tex with their Container Rush to just hold them and spawn entirely. I think they should be doing that, but I think 3 on is enough to get the cap. I'm a Frog will get the first touch here, and a Ray will come out from Yakitori.
Ooh, Solar's in a nice
fat
spot.
butt. Ooh, the big blade!
Oh, that is a huge blade.
Absolutely devastating, and Solar is
mint
just
the last
running
one's left
rampant.
along with Dorcas here.
I mean,
Trussell will
it's
get taken down.
that. I mean, Shades of King's Row attack. Over 3 minutes cap. I mean, you couldn't have asked for better offense, truthfully. Maybe you could have been a little more efficient with the cleanup, especially on first point. Maybe just a little bit more patience, discipline on your engages so you're not losing people early or forcing resources out before you fully take the fight. But, you know, you can't be mad with 3:30 on the clock for your attack and a very strong defense with the momentum you have carried in coming into it.
Yeah, I mean, the momentum and especially like the hype that Aubrey are probably feeling right now is immense, especially Solar. I mean, set themselves up in a beautiful spot to hit that 2 ult final kind of.
Oh yeah, you cancel the
blow.
OC. You know, you get the OC off the board after it found one. You couldn't stop that from getting your teammate, unfortunately, but that's hard because OC is just super, super strong. But you deny any more value, and you take care of one of the supports with it. I mean, you could not have asked for a better Sundering Blade unless it killed all 5.
True, yeah. And now I'm curious to see how this is gonna work for Hebron.
I think with the way they're looking,
but the Ana Brig backline.
Okay, Ana Brig into Vendetta is very, very. I think you look for more disruption rather than dive stopping, like with this Brig. I think Flail doesn't really do a whole lot to her. She can just recover herself pretty easily, and you hit through her shield, so it's not like it's blocking anything. You're just praying that your like all-out damage is enough to kill her before she kills you, and it's just, I mean, most of the time not enough, even with an Ana. So
I feel like the Ana has been played a lot just to do ult combos. I feel as like its primary goal. Because you saw,
I mean, that's what people have kind of seen Ana as, is just a nano bot, but the potential Ana has is, you know, pretty much limitless if you play her right and you're able to work with her. I mean, like, obviously we're not at that level. We are, I would consider this in terms of the hierarchy of like Overwatch competitive. This is like tier 4 play. Like, you know, tier 1 being the highest, and then tier 2 below that, tier 3. This is like amateur league kind of stuff. So you don't really expect to see the highest of highest level players playing here. But if you can utilize Ana and her potential, like her skill ceiling, you can get a lot done with her. Like, so much so that she is better. There are definitely. It's not to say that there aren't, but there's talent and then there's global elite superstars.
Yeah, these guys aren't. They're not making the thousands and thousands of dollars that like.
Thank you for not saying millions, because we both know that professional Overwatch players, as well as most pro esports players, don't get paid jack.
Yeah, I was gonna say, unless you're
like Faker,
or
like
live streaming and in combo as I'm a Frog will take down Dorcas and escape with their life.
I'm a Frog is also a part-time ninja. Good to know.
Yeah, I guess they're not. Oh, there's a C9. Raptor was close to the point and wasn't able to hold it. I was gonna say, I guess they're not mutually exclusive things, being a ninja and also being a frog.
Oh, I typically associate ninjas with very quiet, very stealthy-like, and frogs are pretty loud. So I will give them an element of surprise. I do get surprised by frogs a lot in the wild.
Yeah.
They definitely aren't quiet.
They're loud when needed, but...
True, they are loud when needed. But very good hold there, you know. You deny any more progress here until now, and everyone's back, so... I mean, you're able to take a fight pretty early on here, and there's I mean, that's 5 ults for Hebron, but...
Yeah.
I mean...
I'm curious to see how they deal with this Nano Blade, because I do expect to see that come up.
You could Domino ult it and deny some slashes, which would be pretty beneficial. I think it's going to take at least 2, maybe 3 slashes to break the barrier off of the Genji, that's at least like a second and a half a time from the Genji's Nano Blade. Or, you know, you just hit all 5 here with it. There's the Nano onto the Genji.
The Nano. The Blade will get thrown out now. The Domino will turn around to try and look at the Genji, but they will not be able to get the final blow. You'll see the Brig get popped as well. The Brig here trying to focus on Tex will be able to take down Tex.
Yeah, and honestly, I think that rally might have been a bit of an over. I think Nano Blade was at least more than enough to clean up the fight, as they found pick even before they popped the blade. And I think they will be forced to give up point here, as Solar will try to buy some time, but I mean, Vendetta is strong, but not strong enough to 1v5 the Brig on a cast core, unfortunately. Or fortunately, depending on how you view it. I think it might be a little bit too strong if she can do that.
Right, but Aubrey here does have 5 ults in hand. They don't necessarily have the time advantage.
Ooh, again, I mean, I think Raptor has not had as much practice with the Domino ult. Feels like they could clean up
Raptor
though.
will get 2, though, however. Mint will find 2 as well in that team fight. Frosty will get taken down, but Frosty is the last person to use their ult, as opposed to Aubrey, who had their tank using ult first.
Yeah, I mean,
still 3 ults to 1, so not that
yeah,
bad.
this is very, fortunate. It's favoring Aubrey, and I mean, guaranteed they aren't gonna get more time than you, so you don't have to worry about that. But that's still over 3.5 minutes to get through third point Shambali. And this point, I'm not gonna say it's really defender sided. It definitely can go both ways. I think it is just depending on the team and how you're playing around it. But we will see a Kitsune Rush come out here and forcing Hebron back out of their position on cart. Solar is swinging wildly on this Genji, and finally got some support from the rest of Aubrey to care.
I am curious. Chop has the nano.
Oh yeah.
Are they going to use it on
if they
somebody
nano
other than the
Sig,
Genji?
this might be very Chungus, I will say, to
Well,
very...
I'm not expecting that, but I'm saying, will they use this nano to maybe keep someone alive, or are they going to hold it until they have that Genji that can use it? A Solar will find a pick onto the Brig, and that'll help them out a fair bit. They will nano the Sig!
That was actually, you know what? Honestly, I was expecting him to go on the Sig, and it was kind of for the reason that you said it was. It was to keep him alive. He failed a crit there, trying to deal with Raptor, and the nano brought him back up to pretty much full. So, I mean, I was right. They were going to nano Sig, and you were right. It was to keep someone alive. So
They still have the Blade, but Raptor does have the Domina ult. Because now is the time, if any, that you really want to make sure that you hit this ult. You'll take down the Brig. That's a good early pick. Push away the Sig. The Blade will get popped. You're looking at both of them here, looking to try and take down at least the Ana. You will take down the Ana at a minimum. You'll push away the Genji during this ult. You'll pop the shield for yourself. Get a melee kill! Solar here currently trying to come back from spawn to be able to force a touch. They will be able to and help out Raptor. They'll just be able to take down the Sig before they can cap it. And now they have the task of holding this payload with barely any space to give.
Yep, we see Tex and Mint coming very close to an OC Kitsune Rush, a Noon, and a Rally coming online here for the side of Hebron. I think right now, just how the defense is, I think that the comps, or the ults coming online for Aubrey are definitely stronger than what Hebron have coming up. But if they don't play around this Noon right, they could potentially lose just off of kills from Noon. Rock does hit Raptor and is going to force them back, as we do see OC coming online soon here. Noon coming out.
Rally along with the High Noon. It will take down
Finds
two.
two.
That is a tough picks to have. A minute
Just
left on
supports
the
now.
point. Just the supports. It's Tex and Dorcas. The Kitsune Rush will get thrown out, but it won't help. So 1 minute for the side of Hebron, and 3 and roughly a half, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 3.5 minutes for the side of Aubrey.
So I believe we're going to start defense here for Aubrey, as they have more time, so they get to attack next. I think, honestly, with how they were holding last time, I think that they're able to hold here for a minute. I think the one thing they just need to correct is timing for touching point. I think they might have committed to either it was too early or it was too late, and then they lost somebody on an off angle. So they were forced to back out, and they had to give up a lot of space, and that kind of led to them having to deal with the almost 4-minute time bank coming into third. So they were just able to get a lot more done. Raptor now switching over to the Zarya. No, I think the Zarya switch here is good. I think with the Sig, as long as you can keep someone pressuring the shield, you have guaranteed damage onto the Sig, and you're gonna force a lot of pressure onto him. Maybe force him out. It's good for the Genji as well because you have beam into Genji. Beam into Genji is always good. And we will see.
This is a comp I like.
Dorcas actually going to the Juno now.
I like it for the speed ring for the Vendetta.
Yeah,
speed ring them in, speed ring them out.
I think Beat is a better defensive ult in this case. I think they just needed
definitely
a defensive ult because Flux does get a lot of value if they can build it. But if they trust the Juno, I will put my trust in their Juno, you know?
And Mint on the cast, I feel like this might help out a little bit just with like dealing with that.
You know, I didn't even notice that.
I know.
I just completely forgot to point that out. Yep, Mint on cast definitely is a bigger punish for Genji.
And I mean, the burst damage that it might give on the Sig will help out as well. It's early on. Mint will get a final blow onto the Ana. Solar will find a pick onto the Genji as well. Defense so far going pretty okay for the side of Aubrey for this overtime side.
They did lose Dorcas, unfortunately, but he will be back very shortly as he's already on his way from the spawn to reach his team.
Yeah, Dorcas will be back in this fight. Looking to try and keep themselves afloat, keep themselves in good angles to help out their team.
They hear
Solar
the Ninja Frog.
Primarily, the Ninja Frog going after Mint will force out the deflect, but Mint will get a bubble and stay alive. Solar will be able to do a lot of the damage onto Frosty and will be able to get a final blow onto the Brig as well. That's going to be 4. That'll be 5. A full team kill to stop the attack of Hebron right in its tracks at 31 meters. And now 3 minutes and 36 seconds to
barely push past first corner.
Meters. Yeah, average 10 meters a minute.
I mean, with the way that it's looking, that defense actually, I'll compliment the defense. That was really good. Even though they lost Dorcas pretty early on in the first fight, they stabled. They played their lives very well, and they were able to get a really good hold here onto this corner. Which, I mean, even though I would say first point is much more defender sided, for 3.5 minutes to get to this corner is incredibly doable, and in fact more than doable. It's pretty much already done by just raw pushing the point. We do see a switch over to a Maga now for Frosty off of the Sig, and I think they're gonna run this comp, or at the very least they might go back to the Juno. Same comp here from the side of Aubrey. Don't do it. Don't do it. Frost. Okay, they're mirroring the Zarya. I thought he was gonna go back to Sig. That would have been really concerning.
No,
but
they
now
will go back to the Zar, but I feel like
Zar mirror now for the map. I mean, cinematic, truly.
Mm-hmm.
You have Bubble Genji versus Bubble Detta.
Bubble Ven, yeah. But I feel like you might have to worry about keeping the bubbles in some... At least keeping a bubble for your supports, and that might become a challenge if you're trying to also use your bubbles offensively as well as defensively.
It is the struggle of the Zarya trying to figure out the balance of who do I prioritize my bubbles on? Do I need to save one for myself here? Do I need to commit both? It really just does come down to how the enemy team is playing. As Trop gets found really early on, peeking way past the Brig Shield and dying instantly.
Solar will take down another as well.
Yeah, that's probably going to spell wraps here for
the
Hebron.
Genji is not going to win it. That's going to be the series 3-0 victory for the side of Aubrey versus Hebron.
I mean, just very well, very good performance there from Aubrey. Very strong defense and offensive. Solar does get play of the game. I mean, you know what the one thing I miss the most from casting is?
What?
Doing interviews. It gives a window into the mindset from